live from a cornfield in Iowa. It's the House of 1,000 Horrors Massacre in Iowa. Top Fuel Racing is on the air. Joey Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. Got to give a big thanks to our very, very good friends over at... And I'm still having problems. Great. Thanks, guys. Our very good friends over at PZ Overlays. Paul Zoda providing some of the most beautiful overlays in all of iRacing. For more information on how you can get your own, we ask that you go to Paul's Facebook page. That's Paul Zoda, PZ Overlays. Don't forget our very good friends over at, of course, pH Aware. One of the most difficult to diagnose terminal illnesses on the planet due to the fact that it masks itself with so many other terminal illnesses that by the time doctors can usually put the pieces together, the only thing that's left is a double lung transplant. So we ask that you get more pH Aware and go to phaware.global and also become an organ donor. And of course, we cannot leave out our very, very good friends over at Discount Nutrition. For all your supplement needs, dncsupplements.com is where you want to go. They do ship worldwide, ladies and gentlemen. So, qualifying underway, group qualifying here at Iowa. As we're going to jump right into it. And we are going to jump right into it here. Sure we are. Come on. Any day now. Oh, I love my computer. And for those of you who weren't fluent in sarcasm, yes, that was sarcasm. Kieran Brigelli going for a slide through the grass there. So defending series champion Scotty Brinson sitting at the top of the board right now. Sage Karam rocking the throwback Target Chip Ganassi colors on that car. Johnny Antonucci following along right there. I believe that is Sam Cooper Bennett directly in front of him. It's Kevin Cornelius going for a wild one coming off at 2, and yep. Boom goes the dynamite. Expect to see that more than once tonight, folks. As you know, these guys are hauling off into the corners. Let's follow along with your current pole sitter here. Looks like David Martinez getting ready to bring it pit side. So we're gonna jump on board with Mark Walker. And you can see what Mark's seeing. So that's what going second quick here looks like in Iowa. And the arrow push is real. Just taking a quick look at her here. Damon Martinez sitting at the top of the board, 16.73. Mark, where are we? Mark sitting second quick, 16.77. Scotty Brinson, 16.78. Sage Karam, 16.80. So, and he's got his teammate Karen Bergelli. So all three of the Sage Karam Motorsports cars sitting in the top 5. Something to probably keep an eye on as the race moves on here. 25 cars were scheduled to be in the session. 23 have currently taken time, ladies and gentlemen. So pretty decent sized field. Quick look at the weather conditions. 77 degrees here in the Iowa cornfield. And boom goes the dynamite again. Let's watch that one again. Let's keep an eye on Mark Walker as he comes off of turn number 2. Clears the double stripe, jumps up into the high line, and immediately just gets run over. Looked like fun. Makes me glad I'm up in the booth. Because I know how I get. So. And I take that back. Sage Karam rocking the red Wix paint scheme tonight. Possibly a little hint of things to come for the 2019 season. So 0.88 miles around the Iowa Speedway here. And hometowner Nate Siefker currently sitting 7th quick. And judging from the connection issues, I'm so glad iRacing decided to move their server farm, as I've got currently watching 6 drivers blink worse than a fat kid with lemon in his eye. And for those of you who are regulars here at Bofa Broadcasting, you realize that, yes, my stream has usually been it's been choppy as of late. We're going to try something new tomorrow, because it didn't arrive in the mail today. So, with any luck, that'll take place. As qualifying comes to an end, we are going to take a quick look at our starting lineup. Starting up on the point, blistering it with a 16.73. Damon Martinez. He's going to be joined on the front row with the Canadian crippler himself, Mr. Keith Maiato. Row number 2 is going to go to Pennsylvania Posse member Sage Karam and Mark Walker representing the Buckeye State. Florida's own Scotty Brinson is going to join with the California kid Karen Bergelli in row number 3. Hometown boy Nate Siefker is going to be joined with Chris Simard in row number 4. Jake Pochak and Paul Crumry make up row number 5. Row 6 is going to go to Joe Morganti and Chris Walker. Mark Lagel and Dylan Moskowitz make up row number 7. Row 8 is going to go to Bob Lacavara and Jeff Hollingsworth. Kevin Cornelius and Mark McFadden make up row number 9. Row 10 is going to see Ethan Lagel and Johnny Antonucci. It's row 10. Row 11 is going to see Raul Alvarez and Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett in row 11. Kevin O'Brien and Mark Robertson in row 12. And Robinson and Truex have both left the session, so 23 cars scheduled to roll off in this one tonight. Come on, not the button I was looking for. Couple new paint schemes here tonight as the field goes under the lights at Iowa Speedway. 200 laps of scheduled distance. You are watching a presentation of the Top Fuel. Come on. Top Fuel Racing Series. As the field's starting to roll off. Light's already out on the pace car, so iRacing actually treating this as a it's over a half mile, so they're going to treat it like it's time to go. Field already working its way through the 3-4 complex with pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. Martinez going to have the point when we get the green. As nope, I take that back. They are going to pace it twice, so it's under a mile. So it's a mile and over is where they go one single pace lap. So Brad Truex, the only one not out on track right now. Mark Robertson did decide to grid up. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex, getting ready to take it green side. Martinez and Mayato both looking to score some definitely needed points. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. The only thing that's left to say is, Grandpa, it's time to pop a Viagra because it's time to get it on in Iowa.
Green, green, green.
And Mayato getting a great jump.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Actually, not getting a great jump. That was the teammates, Martinez and Karam. We're already under yellow. Why are we already under yellow? Good question. Joe Morganti with a lot of front end damage. What happened to Joe? Oh boy. There's Morganti starting next to Paul Crumry. Catches the apron and just around she goes, bang, into the safer barrier. Everybody doing a great job to avoid him. So when the caution came out, it looks like Sage Karam had the nose out in front of his teammate. Seems kind of weird to see Scott Brinson in a white and orange car. Rocking the Sunkiss colors, though, here under the lights at Iowa. Defending series champion, currently sitting in 4th. I would like to point out, too, that Scott Brinson is the chief cook and bottle washer here in the Top Fuel Racing League. The man is basically a one-man army when it comes to keeping track of points, making sure that the setups are right, making sure that all the drivers' egos are properly stroked, And Scotty doesn't get anywhere near enough credit for all the hard work he puts into this league as he should. So hats off to you, Scott Brinson. Really appreciate everything you do. And another man who is a chief cook and bottle washer is the owner of the Top Fuel the BOFA Indy Classic Series. That's Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett. You know, Sam just like trying to herd 1,000 cats is about the best way I can describe what Sam has to do on a weekly basis. So, again, hats off to you, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett. Thank you for all that you do. As the light's getting ready to go out on the pace car. Quick look at her top 5. It's Karam, Martinez, Mayato, Brinson, and Siefker. And tonight's Heartburn brought to you by Smithfield Meats. Nothing burps better than bacon. So Karam going to have the button when we go back to green. I'm going to wonder what type of start Sage is going to get with his teammate starting next to him. As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. Pace cars in. Karam holds him down a little bit. Him and Martinez get a decent jump this time. Scott Brinson and Keith Mayato going side by side through turn number 1. It looks like Brinson may, if he didn't bounce off the outside wall, another coat of paint, he would have been in deep crap. And Siefker looking to the inside of Brinson now. Siefker under attack from Karen Bergelli. As Mark Walker dives into the inside of Bergelli. And Chris Samard trying to make a move right now. Walker losing a couple of spots already. Gonna need to try to get in line as Chris Walker puts a pass on Mark Walker. And here comes Paul Crumry as well. As Martinez and Karam, Martinez and Karam starting to stretch their legs a little bit. 4/10 is the lead over Keith Mayato. Mayato not really under pressure. Brinson keeping him honest right now in 4th place. As the field's starting to get in line, starting to get a little strung out. Meanwhile, right now, Jeff Hollingsworth and Paul Crumry going side by side through 3, almost banging wheels. And that was something that drivers were warned about in the drivers' meeting, is that there is a lot of push with the inside car. You can't just mat it if you've got somebody next to you. You've got to be mindful and try to actually drive the car. Samard with a run on Bergelli right now, coming off of 2. Aero push is definitely real, and they're in that section where you've worn all of the really good stuff off the tires, and now we're going to see who the have and the have-nots are. Giving each other plenty of room here in the early goings. Samard backs out of it to stay off of Bergelli and slots back into 7th. Bergelli currently sitting in 6th. Siefker in 5th. Brinson in 4th. Mayato in 3rd. Martinez 2/10 back off your leader, Sage Karam. Back in the field a little way, that Kevin Cornelius in the Milwaukee Tools, number 40, working with Joe Morganti right now. Morganti with a run on the high side and the ride to give, number 53. Good to see Joe back with the league. Took some time off. Cornelius trying to fight back on the inside. Morganti trying to cross him over, thinks better of it. That's McFadden and Lagle in front of him. And around goes... Ouch. Let's take a look at that one again. That's Cornelius in the 40, Morganti in the 53, and let's see what the chopper picked up. Looks like a meeting of the minds. Part from column A, part from column B. And you end up with snap C, a bye. So back under caution we go. Damon Martinez stays out as we're having some wholesale pit stops now. And Bergelli stays out as well. Karam leading them down pit road, down and away. No, I'm sorry. Just hitting his stall now. So Karam going to win the battle off pit road. However, 4 drivers stayed out. And that was, of course, pole sitter Damon Martinez, his teammate Karam Bergelli, who started in 5th. Mark Lagle. Mr. Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien rocking some new colors tonight. Caterpillar paint on the 184. Sharp looking car, Kevin. Sharp looking car. So he's going to bring it down pit side this time. Quick look at your top 5. Damon Martinez, Karam Bergelli, Mark Lagle, Sage Karam, Kevin O'Brien, Keith Mayato, defending series champion Scotty Brinson sitting in 7th, Chris Samard, Chris Walker, and Jake Potak rounding out your top 10. Currently under caution number 2, but don't let that fool you. If you'd like to get involved in future action here with the Top Fuel Racing Series DW12 League, yeah, no, sorry, that was last season. IR18 Indy Cars. So we've retired the DW12. So Top Fuel Racing running the big cars. Just go ahead and drop a comment with your iRacing screen name. We'll get it passed along to league management. See if we can't get you added into some future action here with the Top Fuel Racing League. Would like to point out that this league does pay out for the series points. As the lights not out yet on the pace car. Possibly go wrong here. Gotta think Keith Mayato and Scotty Brinson are sitting ducks right now, as you have all 3 members of Sage Karam Motorsports starting 1, 2, and 3. Sage Karam with the freshest tires on the track. Can we tighten the field up, guys? Because I don't even see the pace car. Lights are out on the pace car, so Martinez and Bergelli 22 laps on their tires, everybody else 3 or less. And Joe Morganti has already put it on the hauler. Brad Truex did not start, so then there were 23. Field working its way into the 3-4 complex. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. And look for... Here we go.
Green, green, green.
Clean start up in the front as Bergelli getting shuffled back already. A lot of aero push going through one. And he is about to get swallowed alive. That's Scotty Brinson to his inside. Keith Mayato all over his rear wing right now as Chris Samard with a run off of 2. Here comes Chris Walker to the inside of Samard. Mayato going to the inside. Walker going to the inside. Bergelli in trouble. And Sage Karam already back to the point. Scotty Brinson up into 3rd. Trying to keep these guys honest up here. It's Karam, Martinez, and Brinson. So Brinson with a 20-lap fresher tires, and then Martinez. Just putting that nose in clean air, crosses him over, coming through the tri-oval portion of the track to the inside, side by side into turn number 1. Still side by side, given plenty of room. Brinson backs out of it, loses a little bit of momentum as they haul off into turn number 3. All this racing is letting Sage Karam start to stretch his legs. 6/10 to the good right now. We are watching the battle for second. It's Damon Martinez in the red and white car. That's Scotty Brinson in the white and orange car. Brinson looking to time the run, coming off of 2. Gonna dive it into 3. A little bit of draft down the front chute. And that's let Keith Mayato start to stick his nose in there. Seifker and Samard going side by side. That's your battle for 6th. Home race for Seifker. Scotty Brinson still all over the rear wing of Damon Martinez. And already 14 laps on his tires. So to the point where you've probably worn all of the goodie off those Firestone Firehawks. And again, all this battling for second, Sage Karam in the fresh air is just checked flat out. 1.5 seconds to the good is Karam. And Bergelli continues to fall like a stone, already down to 19th. So, apparently, you know, fresh tires are meaning a little bit more than they have in the past at some of the tracks. And something to be mindful of. Martinez in 37-lap old tires, Brinson on 18-lap tires. So the fact that Damon Martinez is able to hang like he is right now is nothing short of remarkable.
flag is out.
Oh no. Oh crap. What happened to... What? Well, that was a decent Smith grind for Cooper Bennett until he got to the back straightaway. Trying to figure out who that was. Mark Robertson. 5 laps down. Puts a lead lap car into the wall. Almost gets into Cooper Bennett coming off a 4. Oh, let's see what the chopper picked up, shall we? Here they are coming through 3 and 4 off of 4. Almost turns him there. Would have turned him if they would have still had the Kardashians on this car. And just punt. Straight up hockey hip check. Just 0 Fs given, and Cooper Bennett's night is just become a lot more difficult. So, yeah, that's not cool. Just straight up 0 Fs given. So Paul Crumrye getting a point for leading the lap. Kevin O'Brien coming down pit side this time. That is going to hand the lead of the race back over to Sage Karam. As Kevin Cornelius looking to get one of his laps back. Jake Potak. Yes. Potak got the lucky dog. So the problem here at Iowa is it's under a mile in length around the track. It takes 2 minutes to tow, actually almost 3. Do you realize how badly that sucks when you have an issue on a track that's not even a full mile around? Yeah. Not cool. Would like to remind everybody this coming Sunday, the BOFA Classic Indy Series does take to the high banks of the 1.5 miles that is at Joliet, Illinois, that is Chicagoland Speedway. Final testing going to be happening tomorrow night. If you'd like to join us, there will be a server up in the open hosted sessions of iRacing. All you need is the Lotus 79 and the Chicagoland Speedway. And you can come see what it feels like to bang around there at 200 miles an hour in 1970s technology. Relatively stable setup too, I might add. So lights are out on the pace car. Karam going to have the button. Damon Martinez sitting in second. Keith Mayato, Chris Walker, Chris Simard, Nate Seifert, Jeff Hollingsworth. Scotty Brinson, Jeff Hollingsworth, Mark McFadden, and Dylan Moskowitz. Field working his way through the 3-4 complex. And pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. And Karam going to have the button. Here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Karam rolls into it, and we are already almost 3 wide for third. Nate Seifker thought better of it, backed out of it, still keeps his foot into it as Keith Mayato and Chris Walker going side by side for third through the 3-4 complex. That's Mayato on the inside, losing a ton of momentum, had to lift out to stay off of Walker. That let Seifker by. Mayato dropping like a stone right now. Walker with a run on Martinez. Going to stall it out just a tick. So everybody on fresh tires this time. Seifker trying to make that second line work already. Seifker to the inside of Walker. Side by side through 1 and 2 they go. Seifker backs out of it. Good. Keith Mayato with a major run on the high side. Luckily Seifker saw him coming. Backed out of it, losing a ton of momentum again. Seifker in trouble. Here comes Scotty Brinson to the inside. Brinson has Hollingsworth on his high side. So this is your battle for 6th. Seifker has it, Brinson wants it, Hollingsworth wants it. The field's starting to get a little bit strung out right now. Mark Walker having connection issues. Meanwhile, your battle for 3rd, that's Chris Walker, Keith Mayato, and Chris Simard. Simard all over the rear wing of Keith Mayato right now. There's Kevin O'Brien and Mark McFadden going side by side. Dylan Moskowitz just in front of them. Moskowitz doing pretty decent to hold his own, running top 10 right now. Normally known as a full fendered guy, adapted to the IR-18 rather well if you ask me. But how about Damon Martinez sitting on the pole and holding his own right now with I'll say it, real-life IndyCar driver and his teammate Sage Karam directly in front of him. Martinez doing a great job holding his own right now, keeping Karam honest, if you will. Not really putting a ton of pressure on the team owner, but you know, just enough to say, hey, you know, if you slip up, you're in trouble, kid. And the two of them are really starting to stretch their legs with Chris Walker. Mark Lagle with connection issues. Mark McFadden going pit side. What happened to Mark? A lot of damage on that car. So it looks like a lap earlier. What the hell was that? Hollingsworth. What happened to Hollingsworth? So it was a lap earlier. Hollingsworth pounded the turn 4 wall. And McFadden trying to stay off of him. Eats the turn 2 wall a lap later. actually eats the ball in the same spot. So let's go back live here. There's a couple drivers having to burn their fast repair under green. Keith Mayato getting by Chris Walker now on the high side. Smart looking for a way pass now. Make sure I'm live. And who was that? Oh, what happened to Martinez? That's Hollingsworth on the high side behind Martinez. Dives it into one. Martinez in the second lane, and what the hell? Did Hollingsworth take the air off Martinez's wing? Yeah, he did. Huh. Haven't seen that in a while. Where somebody takes the air off another driver's wing. That's impressive. Didn't know that was possible in an Indy car. Especially where Hollingsworth was. So either it was net code or he just took all the air off of Damon Martinez's wing. So Martinez is going to have to burn his fast repair here. And his night just became a whole lot more difficult. Kevin O'Brien staying out to get the point for leading the lap. Going to bring it pit side this time. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Keith Mayato, who won the battle off pit road. You are watching a presentation of the Top Fuel Racing House of 1,000 Horrors Massacre at Iowa. This was supposed to happen last Wednesday on Halloween. However, iRacing decided to do a server farm update, and the league decided to move the race to this week. Have not heard word yet if we will be running on the night before Thanksgiving or not. Waiting to hear from Scotty on that one a little bit later. Sam Cooper Bennett looking to get one of his laps back. Let's check in with our good friend, proud member of the Pennsylvania Posse, Mr. Bob Lacavara. Bob, usually one of those quiet drivers. Different paint scheme tonight for Bob. Normally black and gold, now running the orange, green, and white Convergent Composites number 84. Sharp looking car tonight for Bob. I was looking for the normal Convergent Composites colors, and where the hell is he? And sharp looking car. Gonna take a little getting used to seeing Bob in brighter colors, but definitely job well done. There's Scotty Brinson in front of him. Busch Gardens, sun-kissed, defending series champion Scotty Brinson, I might add. Young gunner Ethan Lagle in front of him. Damon Martinez getting his machine fixed. So Moskowitz. Again, we mentioned Dylan normally in the full fendered stuff, holding his own, running currently 6th. Sage Karam in the Wix Filters red and black. Possibly a nod for things to come for the 2019 season. We have to check in later with that one. Chris Simard walking the Napa Know-How number 27. Nate Siefker in NLR number 2. Chris Walker NLR 23. And Keith Mayato, the Canadian Crippler, running the Repsol Honda number 19. Yeah, going to have the button as the pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. I stand corrected. Yes, no, they are getting ready to make that hard left turn. This field working its way out of turn number 4. Mayato holds him down a little bit, finally pulls the trigger, and here we go. Siefker going with him. Karam getting a good run. Chris Walker sitting duck on that high line right now. Going to try to keep it wound up. Siefker looking to try to get by Mayato. Going to draft down into the front chute. Karam had a lift, loses a ton of momentum, drops back a little bit as Walker flirts with disaster coming off the 4, had to lift out of it. Simard to the inside, and Mayato still holding the way. It's Simard and Walker slugging it out for 3rd. That second lane starting to come into its own already. Inside car just has a ton of aero push, so you've really got to get your pass made before mid-corner, or you're going to be a sitting duck coming off the corner, and you're going to lose a ton of momentum, pretty much like that. Siefker trying to figure out how to time his run going into 3, though. So Scott Brinson warned me that it was going to be pack racing when we got here tonight, and he was not kidding. Moskowitz all over the back wing of Karam right now, has to back off, try to not kill anybody, as Scotty Brinson all over the rear wing of Moskowitz. Like I said, Dylan normally a full fender guy, holding his own right now with the open wheel stuff. So good on you, Dylan. Meanwhile, Damon Martinez under a lot of pressure with Ethan Lagle right now, trying to figure out how to get by the young gunner. And Paul Crumrye putting his nose into the mix. This is your battle for 8th. It's Kieran Bergelli working the inside of Bob Lacavara. Bergelli going to have to back out of it to try to stay off of Lacavara. So field's starting to get strung out here a little bit. Martinez still working the inside of Ethan Lagle. Might have been contact there, not 100% certain. But Martinez up into the number 8 slot. Now sets sail and trying to reel in Scotty Brinson. Simard all over the rear wing of Chris Walker in that second lane, trying to get a run off a 2. Simard working that high line right now, crosses him over down the front chute, keeps Walker up top. Simard going to get the clear in mid-corner, jumps up in front of him. Walker loses a ton of momentum trying to stay off of Simard. So Chris Simard up to 3rd, and Nate Siefker steady dropping back just a tick as we go to Scotty. Ooh, who's that off pace? Kevin Cornelius coming out of pits right now. Gets it all wrong coming off of the corner. going on? Is the server getting ready to take a crap, or am I? I don't know. Have I mentioned lately I hate the internet? Meanwhile, Keith Mayato's showing the way, working past some lappers. It was Hollingsworth going pit side. As I'm finally able to figure that one out. Chris Samard getting by Nate Seifker, who's getting held up by lap traffic. That would be Sam Bennett and I believe Raul Alvarez. A lot of wing damage on... is that Alvarez? No, it's not. Who is that? No. Mark Lagel all over the track. Wow! Way off pace. That car needs to be pitted because it is not turning with all the damage that it has, and he almost got run over by Keith Mayato, Chris Samard, Nate Seifker, Chris Walker, and Scotty Brinson. And who was that spinning through the grass?
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
No. Who the hell was it? Kevin O'Brien? No. Dylan Moskowitz getting it all wrong, coming through 4. We are going to step away for a quick word from our good friends at Low Budget TV.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection.
To the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press. He saves it. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe. Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we are back from Iowa. Wholesale pit stops for just about the entire field. McFadden stays out, Cornelius stays out, Robertson stays out as they're trying to get some laps back. Currently 12 cars left on the lead lap. As Keith Mayato winning the battle off pit road. And it looks like Sage Karam has put it on the hauler. So then, halfway to the first Christmas Carol of the night, and not quite yet to halfway in the race, working lap 95 of 200. Quick rundown of your top 10. Keith Mayato, Chris Simard, Nate Seifker, Scotty Brinson, Damon Martinez, Chris Walker, Paul Crumry, Karen Brigelli back into the top 10. Bob Lacavara and Mark Walker rounding out your top 10. As waiver rounds happen, lights go out on the pace car. Mayato gonna have the button. Field working his way through the 3-4 complex. Simard on the high side, Mayato on the low side, Seifker and Brinson directly behind him. So let the games begin. It's the pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn. Pace car is in. Mayato has control of the field, holds him down a tick, finally pulls the trigger in the restart zone. And we are back underway as Seifker already to the inside of Simard. Brinson there as well. And that's Martinez working the high side of Chris Walker right behind him. Walker loses a little momentum as he tries to stay off of Martinez. Brinson keeps his foot into it though. Almost touching coming off of 4. Look for Brinson to drop back as he's going to lose a ton of momentum here. Slots in front of Damon Martinez. And Nate Seifker all over the rear wing of Keith Mayato. Mayato protecting that low line. Seifker working the high side right now, keeping it wound up. Going to dive it low, coming into turn number 3. Didn't have the clear, though. Going to lose some momentum here as Mayato looked like he may have gotten into the wall off of 4. And Seifker backs out of it to try to stay off of Mayato. He's fallen back into the clutches of Chris Simard. So battle for second really starting to heat up. Simard going to go to the low side, coming through the dog leg. Simard times it almost perfect, gets the clear off of 2, up into second. As Seifker trying to battle back, puts the nose in clean air, but Simard definitely with the track position right now. And Mayato in clean air is just setting sail.
Yellow flag is out.
And there it is. Mark Robertson involved in that one. Let's see what took place here. Nope, happened in front of him. Something with Cornelius, and I believe that was, yeah, what happened there? So connection issues for Kevin Cornelius, a lot of damage, and Mark Legel just runs him flat over. My Atlanta. So Paul Crumride leading the charge down pit road. So 7th place back. Everybody bringing it pit side. And Crumride going to win the battle off pit road. Mark Walker coming out right behind him. Karen Brigelli picking up a spot. And Walker popped for speeding off. Or not. I stand corrected. Meanwhile, the Canadian Crippler Keith Mayato currently showing the way. As we are going to try to figure out what the hell is wrong. If it's not one thing, it's another. Yeah. So Mayato going to that would explain why. Bear with me, folks. Once again, we are once again we are back. Aha! There we go. Okay. Alright, so now I should have sound yet again as the lights getting ready to go out on the pace car. Mayato, Samard, Siefker, Brinson, and Martinez, your top 5. Criminally. Again, I would like to invite everybody to join us this coming Sunday for the BOFA Indy Classic Series as they go to Joliet, Illinois and Chicagoland Speedway. So your top 6 stayed out. As the field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Mayato going to have the button when we go back to green. 13 lap difference between the haves and the have-nots right now. And 13 cars left on the lead lap. So Mayato holds him down a little bit. Seifker and Brinson jumping both to the inside of Chris Simard. Seifker gets the slot away. Here comes Brinson. And Brinson's starting to blink.
Yellow flag is out.
You guys really want Christmas carols, don't you? Great. There she blows. Ethan Legel just up the track she goes into Sam Cooper Bennett. 0 F's given. So, yeah. We are going to step away for another word from our good friends over at Low Budget TV.
Down into turn number 1. Another slide job and crossover. The brakes are glowing on that left front as we go 3 wide for the 3rd spot. Making sure they won't pull up. Almost in intersection. Almost pushing each other into the intersection and around. It's going to be fun to keep an eye on some of the remade bombers for this one. Got to keep an eye on it all, but this is the battle to watch right here, the battle for 3rd. By the way,
And he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Racely to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press.
saved it.
What a save.
Look to the outside as Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into 2nd place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying. There's contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that 2nd spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
And we're back from Iowa. And Keith Mayato staying out. Nate Seifker stays out. Chris Simard stays out. Scott Brinson, Damon Martinez, and Chris Walker all staying out. Wholesale pit stops from 11th back. Dylan Moskowitz leading the charge there. Kevin O'Brien, the last car on the lead lap, in 13th. As we are about to be 85 to go. So Mayato has led 50 laps so far. Seifker looking to get that all-important bonus point by leading the lap, as is Chris Simard. Scotty Brinson sitting there in 4th. Damon Martinez, your pole sitter, after getting caught up in a dumpster fire earlier, back into the top 10, so good to see that. His teammate Karen McGelly back into the top 10 as well. As the lights are out on the pace car, field working its way down the back straightaway. Take a quick look at our top 10. Mayato, Seifker, Simard, Brinson, Martinez, Walker. No, I'm not double talking there. No relation, by the way. Paul Krumrye and Karen Bergelli and Bob Lacavara rounding out your top 10. Field into the 3-4 complex. Mayato going to have the button one more time.
Green,
Picks up the trigger, and Seifker guessed right as he's able to go with him. The question is Seifker going to have anything for him this time? As the last couple of times, Seifker hasn't been able to do much with being able to hang with him. Seifker looking the high side, and around goes Brinson. What happened to Scotty Brinson there? As he's to the inside of, that's Chris Simard. Blinks and just, oh, netcode door bangs Chris Simard. Let's see if we can see any damage. No real damage on Simard's car. Seifker's still working the high side on Mayato. Mayato showing the way, and Seifker got to be getting frustrated by now, trying to figure out how he can get by Keith Mayato. Mayato putting that car exactly where he needs to keep Seifker at bay, too. As Martinez working on Mark Walker. Going to cross him over down the back chute. Walker able to keep it really wound up on the high side. Almost keeps his foot into it. I don't even think he lifted. As Seifker side by side as they come down the back straightaway now. Seifker with a nose out front was able to pinch Mayato down. And Seifker just muscles his way into the lead. So bonus point for Nate Seifker. All important bonus point. As the point standings right now are very tight. So Seifker to the point. And if you're Keith Mayato, you got to be a little bit frustrated. Now, mind you, folks, we have not seen the money stop. And these top three guys are currently 31 laps into their stint. Or roughly 2/3 of the way to a fuel stop. We're going to jump back to 7th place. As that's Paul Krumrye and Chris Walker. Walker just got the spot away. And the troubles continue for Scotty Brinson. As it looks like he just put it on the hauler. Nope, just connection issues. And there is Johnny Antonucci, Kieran Bergelli, and Kevin O'Brien. That is your battle for 10th. And Bergelli able to rebound into the top 10. Had a little bit of a problem earlier. Antonucci drives it into turn number 3. Almost catches Bergelli. It's Antonucci to the inside. Bergelli on the high side. Bergelli going to be able to keep it wound up on that second lane. Gives Antonucci a ton of room, though. So credit where credit's due. Bergelli not wanting to put that car in jeopardy. Has already burned his fast repair. And that's going to let Kevin O'Brien get by on the outside. Antonucci losing some ground there. He had to back out to stay off of Bergelli. And that's going to let Mark McFadden get by as well. So 70 to go. Seifker shows the way. Mayato sitting in second. And Brinson with a lot of front-end damage on the number 14, sitting in 12th right now, looking to try to claw his way back into the top 10. And Chris Simard with some connection issues. Front end of the field starting to get stretched out a little bit. Nate Siefker continues to show the way. Keith Mayato starting to reel him in, though. As we are getting ready to start seeing some green flag stops from some of these guys. Siefker, Mayato, Simard, and Martinez, as well as Chris Walker, all 42 laps into their current fuel stint. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a 75% fill here. So, going to be interesting to see when they're going to bring it pit side. Quickly becoming your closest battle on track right now. And there it is. Who was it? Oh, what happened to Karen Brigelli? Just, the car did not turn. Let's see what the chopper picked up there. Coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. That's the front chute. Scotty Brinson to his inside, blinking badly, and Brigelli just into the outside wall. And just, the car did not turn at all when he got to turn 3. So ate the wall coming off of 2, got to 3, and there was no steering. And then it almost catches your lead pack. That could have ended poorly for your leaders. So wholesale pit stops for everybody right now, as Siefker going to lead him down pit road. That is going to give Mark Robertson one of his laps back. Siefker winning the battle off pit road. Kevin O'Brien staying out to get off sequence with everybody. A lot of nose damage on the 184. And that's Jeff Hollingsworth directly in front of him, bringing it pit side. Jeff 9 laps down. McFadden able to take his pit stop finally. So quick look at your top 10. Siefker, O'Brien, Mayato, Walker, Martinez, Walker, Crumry, Moskowitz, Brinson, and Lacavara back into the top 10. And it looks like Brigelli's still towing, so it might be a little bit for him. It's going to put him 4 laps down. That leaves us with 12 cars on the lead lap. Chris Simard being the last one on the lead lap there. Come here. And again, tonight's Heartburn brought to you by Smithfield Meats. Nothing burps better than bacon. FML. Anyways, $60 to go. Make that $59 to go. As Seifker gonna elect to take the outside line. Lights going out on the pace car. Seifker gonna have the button. It's gonna put my auto to his inside. Seifker looked like he might be trying to work with Damon Martinez right now. As the field works its way into the 3-4 complex already. Seifker going to have the button. And Seifker to the way high side, wastes no time pulling the trigger. Gets a great jump, and Mayato under pressure already from Martinez. And it's Mark Walker looking at the inside of Martinez now as Chris Walker all over the back wing of Mark Walker. Little Walker on Walker crime here. It's Mark in the purple car, Chris in the white and blue car. Damon Martinez biding his time right now, trying to reel in the Canadian crippler Keith Mayato. It's Crumry looking in the inside of Mark Walker, of Chris Walker, as is Scott Brinson. So the teammates Rated R Racing trying to take it to Team NLR right now. Team point standings that tight. And that's Jeff Hollingsworth eating to the wall coming off a 2. Crumry using him as a pick to keep Walker at bay. And here comes Dylan Moskowitz. That's Moskowitz to the inside, working on Brinson right now, getting a run on him. Walker and Crumry still throwing bombs at each other. That's your battle for 5th. Paul Crumry has it. Chris Walker wants it. Scotty Brinson working on Chris Walker now. Walker flirting with disaster down the front chute. Not sure if the handle's gone away from Walker's 23 or not. But another coat of paint on that wall. Chris Walker would have been in trouble coming across the stripe last lap. As Mark Walker has caught Damon Martinez. Loses a little bit of momentum coming through 3. Trying to keep him honest, though. And again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go out on a limb and say we probably have not seen the money stop. I want to believe these guys are at least going to have to take a splash and dash to get them to the finish line. And the field getting strung out now. Kind of what we expected here at Iowa. There's your defending series champion, Mr. Scotty Brinson, working right now on Chris Walker, trying to keep Walker honest. Walker goes to the inside of Paul Crumry. What the hell did I do? Brinson goes to the inside of Walker. Walker able to keep it wound up in that second lane. So as the tires start to wear off, we're 18 laps into this tire stint right now, and Chris Walker just showed that that second lane is a very viable option this late into a run. Moskowitz flirting with the marbles right now, flirting with disaster coming off a 2. Another coat of paint, he would have been in deep trouble. Moskowitz to the inside of Walker. Seems weird not to see Dylan in an orange truck that says Whataburger on it. So those of you in the live chats right now, let's hear your comments. Favorite non-Golden Arches fast food chain. Your choices are Five Guys, In-N-Out, Whataburger, and anything you want to add is Moskowitz way off the pace. He had caught the wall. So Whataburger, Five Guys, In-N-Out, Checkers, and I know I'm forgetting one out there, so let's hear it. Who's your favorite? Sonic is another viable choice for this. As Kevin O'Brien gets into this battle now, Chris Walker just lost a ton of spots. Way off pace right now. You got to think Walker's got some suspension damage after catching the wall like that. As we are currently 36 to go for your leader, Nate Stiefker. You see Keith Mayato, the Canadian crippler, in second place, keeping him honest. That's what 0.4 of a second looks like. As they are 27 laps into this stint right now. Stiefker looking to win his home race. Has great momentum coming out of Sebring Sunday in the Bofa Classic Indy Series. Your pole sitter, Damon Martinez, just looking for a good points night right now. And Chris Walker having connection issues. Bob Lacavara flirting with the top 10 right now. Johnny Antonucci currently has it. So Antonucci goes to the inside of Chris Walker. That's Moskowitz and Simard throwing hand grenades at each other. Simard 2 laps down. Not exactly sure what happened to Chris. But he lost a ton of time in the pits under that last caution. He may have caught a piece of Bergelli. I'm not 100% certain. Simard pit under green, so Simard can make it from here. Okay, so that's what happened to Simard. Samard just came out of the pits. He's only 2 laps on his stint right now. So Samard can definitely make it from here. I'm not sure about the rest of the field. As Siefker 33 laps in, still it'll be 28 laps to go here. Siefker may have gone into fuel conservation mode. As Keith Mayato has definitely caught him. Catching him's one thing, getting by him cleanly is another. And they are quickly catching lap traffic. Didn't quite catch who that was. One of them was Chris Walker. So Walker taking it pit side. 25 to go. It is going to be a big ask for Siefker and Mayato to make it the rest of the way on what they have in the tank. Wow. Siefker with a big moment off of 4. That's going to let Mayato get by him. He keeps his foot into it, though. Siefker back to the point coming down the back chute. That could have ended 8 different kinds of poorly. But the lap was scored to Mayato. So you got to think, in heavy traffic now. Hollingsworth going another lap down. That's going to be McFadden. McFadden, Robertson. McFadden getting out of the way. Robertson, the next going to be the next car. 22 laps as. Good grief. Here comes Chris Walker on fresh tires, too. So it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. 40-lap difference between Siefker, Mayato, and Walker. As Siefker with a big moment off of 4 again. That lets Mayato back by. Mayato knows that Walker has fresher tires. Able to keep it wound up on the high side, though. So Walker getting one of his laps back the hard way. As Mark Walker has gone pit side, we are 19 laps to go. Mayato with a big wiggle through 1 and 2. Martinez, and around goes Walker. Chris Walker gets it all wrong coming off a 2. Down on the apron, so we stay green, though. And it's Bob Lacavara right in front of Keith Mayato. Mayato on the way high side.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, what just happened? Dylan Moskowitz getting it all wrong. What happened to Dylan? Coming out of the pits. Steps on the gas and steps on his own junk. Up onto the track he goes. Gooses it to get out of the leader's way. So, oh, wow. So here's how this one shapes up, ladies and gentlemen. As we are back live, Keith Mayato shows the way. Nate Siefker just lost a lap in the pits. Scotty Brinson sits in second. Paul Crumry in third. Johnny Antonucci in fourth. Bob Lacavara, the first car 1 lap down, still needs to pit. He's going to get the lucky dog here. Or should, anyways. Or not. There he goes. So Lacavara gets the back on the lead lap. That means that Nate Siefker is now the last car on the lead lap, but he's got to wait for the actual waiver rounds to happen. Chris Simard is still going to be a lap down when we go back to green. So that's going to leave 6 cars on the lead lap. The rest of the field just got caught a lap or more down due to green flag stops. Wow. There is your leader, Keith Maiato. There's Scotty Brinson. There's Paul Crumry. And there is Johnny Antonucci sitting in 4th. Pennsylvania Posse member Bob Lacavara holding down the number 5 spot right now. Nate Siefker, who just finished his green flag stop before the caution came out, is going to have to wait till the lights go out on the pace car to take the wave around, catch onto the tail end of the field. So let's pan out a little bit here. So there's Siefker in the all-white NLR. Last car on the lead lap. And there is Keith Maiato, your leader. We should be getting green with about 10 to go. So look for wave rounds to happen this time across the stripe. There we go. Lights are out on the pace car. And wholesale wave rounds for most of the field. Maiato and Brinson going to be starting side by side. So some of the field has caught the tail end of the pack. Hollingsworth, 13 laps down, is going to be restarting outside of row number 3 as the field works its way through the 3-4 complex. Everybody has caught the tail end of the field. Pace car is in. Maiato has control of the field, and around goes. That was Paul Crumry. As we stay green, Crumry spun onto the grass. What just happened?
Yellow.
Bob Lacavara just ate the wall. Hollingsworth with damage, trying to stay out of the way. And Martinez just... Oh, shit. Hopefully Bob hasn't burned his fast repair yet. Yeah, he has. And he's got to tow that thing now. Jeepers. Are you kidding me? I'm at a loss for words right now, ladies and gentlemen. I really am. I don't even know what to say. Lead lap car gets taken out by a lap car. For the 4th time tonight. Oh, I can't wait to hear what league management's going to say about this one. Because I can guarantee you, as unhappy as I am, there is a couple other people who are probably going to be a little less happy than I am. And I'm not a happy camper right now. The only reason you're not hearing Christmas carols is because I promised Scotty I wouldn't do it anymore. So we are going to have a 3-lap shootout when we go back to green. And we have exactly 6 cars on the lead lap. So place your bets. Are we going to finish under green or are we going to finish under yellow? Because this track is definitely not indicative of the skill level that I have seen in the past from every driver in this league. And I can guarantee you the driver of the number 14 is pissed already because we are in double-digit cautions. So, Mayato, Brinson, Siefker, Antonucci, Crumry, Simard, top 6 on the lead lap. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Green flag getting ready to come out. Next flag after that ends it. Pace car's in. Mayato wastes no time, pulls the trigger, and here comes Siefker. And Siefker's got to be looking big picture right now, as is Brinson. Brinson to the inside of Mayato. Popsicle sticks are out, 2 to go. Brinson still working the inside of Mayato. A lot of respect between these two drivers. Neither one of them going to do anything to really jeopardize either one of their races. Mayato able to keep it wound up a little bit better on that second lane. Brinson having to breathe it to stay off of him. Final lap. Here we go. Off of turn number 4. Mayato with a nose out front, and Mayato wins it. Safeker for second. Brinson coming home in third. Paul Crumry for fourth. Johnny Antonucci rounding out your top 5. So there is that one. We are going to, where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. So we are going to start reaching out to our podium guys. First thing we're going to do is reach out to the man of the hour, the Canadian crippler himself, Mr. Keith Mayato. Keith, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much. I'm happy I finally put it together.
You finally put it together. Finally got a handle on the elusive IR-18. Talk us through that final restart. Did you know you had it when you had control coming to the green?
I knew I had a good chance, but I noticed from all the other restarts that if they were on me, the draft was pretty strong. Like, they can pull up to me pretty easily. And on that green, because of my last Iowa race out in the DW12, I lost it. With 2 to go, restart, leading the race. I guess I shifted the wrong spot in the middle of the corner, and it spun around. So I was a little nervous. I was thinking about that, and I kind of short shifted, which gave Scott that run on the inside. And I just try to give him as little room as possible, but not, not pinch him down where it's going to wreck both of us.
Fair enough. So you were able to keep the car relatively clean most of the night. Stinking up the show, leading 79 of 200 laps. I believe that puts you as most laps led, so extra bonus point there. Real tight points battle that you're in right now. How do you feel going into next week at, I believe it's Pocono?
Well, if it's like anything like tonight, is hopefully stay out of trouble, and hopefully trouble doesn't find me, and hopefully I'll be there. I think I finished 3rd or 2nd last race there. I believe it was in the W12. I don't think it was IR-18, but
it was the DW12. Yes,
was it DW12? So yeah, it's a fun track. It's a lot more room to work with, but hopefully I can do it.
Well, you're quickly becoming a short track specialist. Not that Iowa is really a short track in the traditional sense of the word, but it is one of the shortest tracks that we run on here in Top Fuel.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a short track in this car. I can tell you that.
Well, when you're hauling off into the corner at 200 miles an hour, and it's under a 1 mile track, yeah, I can understand that. But real great points night for your whole team. Both of you putting it into the top 10. What can you tell us what did happen with Chris Simard? We saw he went a lap down earlier and then lost the second lap with the green flag stop that he took.
I believe he was speeding on entry going into the pits, and then
that'll do it.
I guess he got caught for me staying out for so long, and I was worried about that long run because I was telling Chris, I'm like, I want to pit because I'm losing time to, I think, like Damon, but I'm like, we haven't had one green run, one whole green run yet. So I'm like, a caution's got to come out, and it did. And I think it actually worked out for Chris because I don't think he would have come back to even finish 6th if it went green to the end.
It did. That actually put him back on the lead lap. Now, when that caution did come out just before 10 to go, how close were you to bingo on fuel?
I think I still had like 10 to go, And I was pretty much waiting for Nate to go in, and I heard him saying, "I'm going in," and I'm like, "Okay, next lap I'm coming." And literally the caution came out. So I guess it was perfect timing. It's perfect timing on Nate's part to say to go into the pits, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Chris, again, Keith, again, congratulations. Hell of a drive, my friend. Anybody else you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Scott for, putting up all his hard work for TFR, and yourself, Tony, for doing a great job tonight on both broadcasts.
Well, Keith, thank you, and looking forward to seeing you Sunday when we go to Chicagoland with the Bofa Indy Classic Series in the Lotus 79.
Yeah, I usually don't race there, but I thought about it. Chicagoland's a fun track.
And joining me now is the owner of the Bofa Indy Classic League, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett. Sam, I believe you said you were going to be putting an open test session up tomorrow night?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, yeah.
All right, so Keith, there you go. You got a chance to at least feel the setup out before you make a final decision. But hopefully, we do see you Sunday.
I'll do my best. I do have Martinsville tomorrow night, so if it's an early night, maybe I'll hop onto the server.
Fair enough. Best of luck to you, Keith.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good night.
You too. So that is the man of the hour, Mr. Keith Mayato. Joining me now is hometown boy, probably not the finish he was looking for, but Nate Siefker, you got to be happy with how you finished tonight, putting it on the podium. Great points night for you, Nate.
Great points night. That finish was hella cool. That was fun. that was what you have league racing for. I mean, that was pretty awesome to come to the line like that and basically 4 wide at the end there. So that was pretty cool. Although I do have to say I'm a little disappointed that didn't go my way because I'm trying to decide if that was a good thing that caution came out when it did or it's not, because I think I was kind of screwed on strategy. I think it could have lessened the blow by me pitting in, but I'll take the result that I got tonight. Second's not bad, especially when I had to use my fast repair on lap 15 due to a collision. But overall, I think that was fun. That was lots of fun, especially us Iowans and Iowa tracks know how to do it. So.
Well, I would like to point out, and joining us now is the gentleman who's rounding out our podium, between Nate Siefker and Scott Brinson at the stripe, 1/100,000th of a second.
Yeah, I saw that the last second that he clipped me there for second place, and normally losing a race like that, I would be upset, but I should have never been in that spot to begin with. I got lucky with that one caution that trapped everybody a lap down when I had stayed out. And, I gave it a hell of a shot, but at the same time, I kind of owed Keith one. So he deserved that race. I've been getting into him a lot here lately. And he had it. He had the best lane, and he's a hell of a driver, and he won the race. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to Nate for following his wake and snatching second away in some pretty important points, didn't it?
Very much so, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rated R Racing, 2 cars in the top 4. So team points all important tonight. You guys are going to be able to stretch that points lead with the team standings. Now, Scotty, where are we next week?
Pocono.
It is Pocono. Okay. Nate, I believe that's one of those tracks you have a love-hate relationship with, is it not?
Yeah, it is, except I won't get to love or hate it because I have to work, unfortunately. So that'll be one that I'll be watching from work, unfortunately. But I think I'll be able to make next week's race. But I'll definitely be watching from home, or not from home, from work, and ruin my opportunity to get back-to-back podiums. But yeah, I do have a love-hate relationship with that racetrack. But I don't get to make love or beat it up, so that's unfortunate.
Fair enough, but Scott, you have a love relationship with that track. I believe you have yet to not finish on the podium, at least since I've started broadcasting at the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, recent races I've done pretty well. I think I won last season there. I do pretty well there. Something about that track in this car I just love that place. I'm looking forward to it. Tonight's going to be a good points night ultimately. From this point forward, though, with only 6 races to go, I'm racing a couple guys for the championship. Now Keith's going to get back in it, so I'm focusing on just beating those guys, not necessarily winning races. I took a big chance tonight, got into it with Chris Samard. I want to apologize publicly to Chris Samard for that. It was hard to pass out there tonight. I saw an opportunity. I tried to take it. I pushed up into him. He thought we had net coded, but I actually drove up into him, so that was on me. And, man, I don't know if I can take those chances down the stretch because I went from 2nd to 13th, whatever it was, and that's what I was saying for me to even be standing here on the podium. I just kind of got lucky tonight. Kind of worked out.
Well, as my father used to say, especially about his golf game, I'd rather be lucky than good any day. And, you know, Nate, you had a little bit of a rabbit's foot crammed up your crack tonight with, you know, that timely caution coming out and you guys trapping the field a lap down. So, you know, from a broadcast standpoint, I'm not sure how the stream came out. And again, I'd like to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I do have the new graphics card on its way to the house currently. But, you know, hopefully the race looked as good in the broadcast as it looked to me. You know, and hopefully it wasn't just another radio broadcast. But definitely looking forward to next week at Pocono. As much as I hate that track in iRacing and in real life, love the people from the Pocono Mountain region of Pennsylvania. Not a fan of the facility. But that's just me. But Top Fuel Racing, every time they've gone there, they've always put on one hell of a show. Looking forward to seeing how that works out next week. And I know, Sam, you're looking forward to this coming Sunday as the Bofa Classic Indy Series goes to Joliet, Illinois, and Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, just hoping for a better turnout this time, though.
Well, I mean, it's one of those tracks that more people are going to own due to how much it's used in other series throughout the sim. Granted, we haven't had a lot of traffic testing with this setup, but I dare say this one's going to be a little more traffic friendly, shall we say, than what we saw when we went to Milwaukee.
Absolutely, it should be good racing there this Sunday in the Lotus 79s. But yeah, Nate, Scott, sorry Tony, don't mean to interrupt, but you guys got anybody you guys want to thank for tonight's results?
Well, I want first and foremost, I want sorry, start coughing there for a second. I want to congratulate my teammate Paul Cromery, who's going through some very, very difficult times right now with his family. And he got a 4th place finish here tonight. I was shocked that Paul even showed up. Paul just wanted to get away from some things and clear his mind for a few minutes, just to try to escape what's going on in his family's life right now. And I just want him to know that I'm proud of him, for putting on the hell of a performance that he did tonight. And I'm thinking about him and his family and what they're going through right now.
Yeah, I'd like to also echo what Scott said. You know, I think we're all thinking of Paul and his family for sure, and we're all having our hopes and prayers with Paul and his entire family. But yeah, I think it's kind of. I don't think it was a good result for Paul. I think that was a result that Paul kind of needed too. So good job on Paul for getting his 4th place. We haven't got a chance to talk to him yet, but yeah, he did a great job tonight as well.
Absolutely, good strong top 5 finish. Had a podium in sight, but discretion being the better part of valor. Again, congratulations, Paul, and thoughts and prayers going out to your family, and hopefully you get through this with your head held high. We're going to take a quick look at our final results. Keith Mayato coming home with the win. Nate Siefker hanging on for 2nd. Scotty Brinson hanging on for 3rd. And if you'll notice, Siefker and Brinson being scored at identical distances from Mayato. I'm looking at the timing and scoring screen that I've got that takes it out a couple more digits. 0.00001 second.
Woo! I'll take that.
1/10,000th of a second at the stripe. Nate Siefker just barely inching out Scotty Brinson. Paul Crumright hanging on for a very well-deserved fourth. Johnny Antonucci coming home in fifth. Chris Samard able to hang on for sixth. Last car on the lead lap. Mark Walker in seventh. First car lap down. Mark Robinson bouncing back from being 3 laps down at one point, coming home in eighth. Kevin O'Brien in ninth. Chris Walker rounding out your top 10. Dylan Moskowitz in 11th. Excuse me. Mark McFadden in 12th. Damon Martinez in 13th. Bob Lacavara being scored in 14th. Jeff Hollingsworth in 15th. Karen Brigelli 16th. 17th going to Sam Cooper Bennett. Ethan Lagle, Mark Lagle, and Kevin Cornelis running out your top 20. Raul Alvarez being scored in 21st. Sage Karam 22nd. Jay Potak in 23rd. And Joe Morganti, last car to actually take the green flag, in 24th. That is going to do it for us tonight. We will be back, I believe, tomorrow night. You guys are at Phoenix?
Martinsville.
Martinsville. Okay.
Is it Martinsville tomorrow night? Okay.
Yeah, because
oh, that's right. They took
so
they took last week off too. So join Sam Cooper Bennett and Mr. Scotty Brinson tomorrow night as they take the Portside Land Rover Jaguar Somo Cup Series to Martinsville. This is Tony Trapasso saying we will see you next time.
Have a good night, everybody.